Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Wednesday. It's Quensday. And Dragon Quest 7, we're in the back of the post-game. Well, mostly the back of the post-game. Well, we need to get some W's against God. We're 2 and 3. The series isn't over yet. We gotta fix it up. So the specifics of this. We have the fight against the Almighty. And when we beat the Almighty, we get to pick a prize. And one of those prizes, it's probably in my, that we can pick from, are mysterious fragments. God has 3 of these in his pockets. The Almighty is holding a few. And we need to get a win for each one. You can see the radar still going down there. So that's kind of what we gotta do. Strange Empty, thank you for the sub. 100 months. Appreciate it. Witch.tv. I have to farm God. Yes, but God has been farming us a little better. That is what we're doing. We need to fight and win against God 3 times. Oh, come on. Whoa! Goodbye! Into the sunset. But yeah, after everything, when we found out the Demon King was actually disguising himself as God, and we got rid of the Demon King, we then found in this post-game dungeon, the Almighty was just chilling down here. So we found God down here. Hello. We can say hi to God. And after we had a talk with the Almighty, he was like, damn, free will, humanity, you beat the Demon King, and he kind of, beat me. It was close, though. Pretty close. It was like a draw, kind of, if you think about it. And then, dot. Yo, you want to throw? And so, we're entering in Battle 6. We need to win this fight in under 20 turns. That's the turn limit. God has a few nasty maneuvers available. We aren't going to be keeping up a lot of defenses. I'm just going to be using offense on a lot of this. The main plan is, while we're at full health, Swords Dance out of Slyo. Double checking, yeah. Here's the main turns. Swords Dance out of Slyo. Ruff, I think Ruff is using Falcon Slash or Wind Sickle? Or actually, Harvest Moon's probably our best, now that I think about it. Yeah, Harvest Moon I think is our best. So Harvest Moon's our best for Ruff. But Ruff also is going to be doing a little bit of defense in setting up Woolly Blanket so we don't get destroyed by some Ice Breath. But we'll set that up first. Maribel has a few different offensive pieces, Harvest Moon and such, but really most of the time is going to be casting from our powerful spells, going with Kafrizzle. And the biggest part of this, every turn, Mervin, no matter what, unless we're at, Mervin's the only one able to act, Mervin is going to use the Blade of Ultimate Power. What is the Blade of Ultimate Power? About 500 to 600 piercing damage. So that's the plan. Oh, I got a summon. That's the other thing I need to do. let's pull down the summon. I forgot about that. So you want... I think you just want to go offense. Ruff is going to full heal self. I think it's an other? Where is this? Where's summon at? Summon. Now, Ruff is a little low here, but... Really? Alright. And our summon is Diego. I don't think Diego's as strong as our summon we had last time. Last time, with, Sam Show. Actually, Diego, we'll see what Diego's got. I did, yesterday there was another trailer for the Dragon Quest VII Reimagined stuff. I guess we're just going all offense here. Which is Harvest Moon. And you want to be Kafrizzling, and you want to be... I don't know how I feel about them just throwing that out as, like, a showcase bit, but, like, I understand that it's, like, also this is a pretty big reason to pick up the game. So, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Okay, Ruff's gonna turn, skip, nothing else. And there's Bolts from the Blue. So Bolts from the Blue, when we fought God the first time, we did not run into. But Bolts from the Blue is a move that God has that's just 200 to 300 zap damage to everybody. I think it's like 220 to 280. God could do that in... Ooh, I don't like that outspeed. That's really bad. Okay. That could have been disaster. Yeah. Well, full offense today. I'm fine with just taking the joke. Nobody's amused. We got a bonk on Diego, I don't care. Like how they got to call the Almighty A, you know? What happens if, like, the Almighty A when the Almighty B walks in the room, right? Like... But yes, I like Diego's look, by the way. So yeah, our offensive turn with the setup we have is about 1,400 damage. God has like 15,000-ish health. But we have to take off turns for like recovery in here as well. It's like, that's like about 400, and then we get 200, 200. Ooh, that's a knockdown on Mervin. That's really annoying. A knockdown on Mervin's a pain in the... Ooh, oomph-ing. Yo, okay. We want defensive spells and Tingle. And we keep the offense going, because every point of offense matters. But yeah, Mervin taking a nap, that's 2 turns off of Blade. And any turn off of Blade is, you know... That's very bad. Slyo's asleep and Mervin's stuck in... Part of the, like... One of the most annoying pieces of the setup here, because of the, like, classes we've gone through, both Ruff and Maribel don't have the ability to wake somebody up. Like, we have Squelch, but we don't have Tingle. Because that wasn't on Heal Slime. Oh, is Mervin not taking the turn off? Okay, if Mervin's not taking the turn off, then we're okay. Because in other abilities, we have... Where do you have it? I know you have it. Rude Awakening, there it is. Okay, attack Slyo. Knockout on Maribel, that's fine. Oh, is Squelch not from... that? I know we got Squelch, I don't remember where we got it from. So... anyway, we need to get back to offense. Like, we obviously have it on Ruff. Maybe Ruff has that base? Not sure. Frigid Ice. This is pretty big damage. Okay, we're gonna have to Omni Heal after this. But we are back. Oh, thanks for the kabuff. Wish Diego was a little bit more offensive. Alright. Oh, boy. Oh, Slyo lived through that. That's okay. Slyo has some pretty immense resistances and a lot of health. This is the thing about fighting God here, is that there's a lot of chance for things to just go horribly wrong. God smoothly dodges one of my hits. Okay, Underpants Dance is a Ruff turn skip and a Diego turn skip. That's fine. Okay. Keep getting that offense in. Okay. Bolts from the blue? Will Ruff live through this? Oh! That took Slyo out from full, huh? Okay. God might be walking with a win here. We'll see. Ruff's back up. Ruff is back up alone. You know what? Oh, okay, fine. Taking this one. And the fun thing about this is that God will, in fact, take half your money. It's pretty easy to go in for a rematch, though. When you win against God, you get kicked out of the dungeon. Which is very funny to me. So you have to walk back in on, to get another rematch after a win, but after a loss, you're just at the church right here. But yeah, so this is a fight that is a little bit tense on the edge. God just does have the ability to go, you know what, bolts from the blue plus like a frost breath or something. Make things look pretty bad. Oh, that Dazzle's doing heavy lifting. But like, at the point we're at, a lot of, like, we have the ability to fight Metal King Slimes if we wanted to get levels up. And we have the ability to fight, like, you know, just like if we need to level up classes and stuff. But a lot of the break points were already passed. You know, another 100 HP on Maribel doesn't prevent her from dying to a double up. She just falls over to one of those. It's actually not possible to stop it, so I'm not worrying too much about that. We're just gonna see how our odds go on this next one. Take a free level in. 13 HP. Levels are worth quite a lot. Alright, am I holding... Alright. Alright, Almighty. We need that fragment. I'd like a... We'll see again how the summon starts. Wonder if there's a better offense I could take here. I don't think so. Actually, well... How much damage is Giga Slash versus Swords Dance? Let's give it a shot and see. Abilities, other summon, and the only thing you're doing all fight. Blade of Ultimate Power. 387? That's about the same. Buzz. Ooh. I'll take Bazul. So, heal on up. Let's see what... There's bolts. Okay. For Crackle. See, everybody says that, but Dragon Quest games, when you're fighting God, you're not fighting God to dethrone God. That's why every other RPG is doing it. We found God just chilling, and he was like, hey, I'm kind of bored. Ooh, Mervin just dodged. That's nice. I want to see what Bazul's got for offense here. Yeah, this game was actually one of our first where, okay, having Kafrizzle. But yeah, you're fighting God in locals. Yeah, this game was one of the first having God actually be like... On disc 2, you think that the Almighty is our ending villain by the end, but it turns out it was the Demon King in disguise the whole time. Okay, the one thing I think we do get from levels that would be appreciative, yes, that is one of God's special moves, is shaking what he gave. You know, I'm not quite sure exactly how that works, but it's fine. But yeah, the way that speed in Dragon Quest works, it's... Oh boy. Okay, Ruff's alive. Like, it's not 100% dependable for us to be able to go first, because there's a random element to speed. Which means that there's a chance that, like, this falls off because God goes first over the Omni Heal. You know, you can attack Bazul. I don't like you hitting Slyo down. That's actually really annoying. Luckily, we're all at full health, so the turn isn't too big of a loss. The loss here is the blade. It'd be so much... That honestly would be the biggest upgrade I think I could give to this fight. Would be having access to a way to wake up. Like, if there's a... Is there an item that casts Tingle? If there was an item that casts Tingle... But... Anyway, at least have Kazing there. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a staff of it. Because the biggest thing here is that our biggest damage dealer is the one who has to take the turn off to get Slyo up. And this could go very badly. Especially there, like, you see that, like, we basically lost the turn. It's okay. Bonk. We did get a free Kafrizzle. Bazool's a good addition to this fight for us. Alright, let's heal up and keep the offense rolling. Remember, 20 turns means we have to be offensive here. I can't afford to take a lot of time off to put up defenses. Okay, knocking out Maribel is annoying, but I can just deal with that by healing through it. Bozo Snacks are paralyzed. Wow. See, Ruff got turn 1 there. Okay, Almighty attacks Slyo and Underpants Dance. All that matters is that Slyo doesn't lose the turn to that. Slyo losing the turn to that would be... Bazoo having multi-heal, by the way, huge. Very helpful. Okay, Maribel's back up, and Slyo's down after... Oh, boy. Okay. That's fine. You need to multi-heal. You need to defend, and you need to wake up Slyo. Okay. That's fine. Oh, is Moonward both in this? I'll have to check it afterwards. Because I'm coming off of 3, I just kind of had them thrown off because it's like, well... Alright, spell, defense. That's something we can move around. Because having that on, like, see here, like, Slyo's the one who has to do that. And, like, that's one of our main damage dealers, taking a turn off. It's also the person who has Omni Heal. Ooh, Slyo's skipping a turn. Everybody's skipping a turn. Hey, Bazoo, can you back us up here? Uh-oh. Windsickles, Ruff is alive through that, and Slyo takes the other hit. Okay. Everything's fine. Let's go... Giga Slash... Full heal... Kafrizzle... Slyo is not amused. Sweet, that's a turn off. Okay, I thought I did a sweep through dances for it. I can do another one, though. Because that would be defensive abilities, meditation, angel song. Because that's sometimes revive, that's hustle. Oh, Dawn Course is wake up. Okay. So that gives us a third way of doing that. Okay. That's way better. I maybe even knew that and just plumb forgot because I'm thinking about our two main people having it. Bolts in the blue, okay, as long as Maribel lives through that. Yikes! Okay. Maribel did live. Omni heal. You're still going on the offensive, and Maribel at 2 HP is gonna kazing. Hellfire, alright. And a one-liner. That gets Mervin back on the table. A little worried about our damage moving on because Mervin's been not multi-heal. Oh, is okay, alright, that's bad. That's fine. Not enough MP. Oh no! Bazoo! Come on, Bazoo! Oh, that's terrifying. Okay, Omni back. Keep flipping. And the knockdown on Ruff. That's fine. We can deal with that. Okay. I love the spin when we defeated the Almighty there. All right, the question... Ooh, that's a Prism Peacock level too. Thanks. Thanks, God. Inferno. All right, how many turns? 17? 18? We got it. Okay. That puts us at 4 and 3 and 4. 4 and 3. All right, let's grab Mysterious Fragment number 2. Hope you like it. All right, let's head over to Estart, I guess. We'll take a quick detour. To the Haven. Oh, actually, I'm gonna have to take a detour somewhere else first. Hold on. Ba-doop-ba-doo. 150 MP. Bazul had multi-heal, and that's enough. Like, having multi-heal is huge there. So Moonwar Bulb, I'm told, it just says paralysis. Okay. Well, we did learn the dance does it, so the dance being able to do it is, like, way better. Alright. Yeah, Druid has a specific summon we don't have access to yet, but... Alright, now we can go to the Haven. Okay. Anyway, hello. Let's go play some card match. Alright. Starting off, we got two of them in the pocket. We are starting with Rose. Roseblade. Roseblade Silk? I think this is the Silk one. Roseblade Silk. Roseblade Silk Ring. Roseblade Silk Ring Slyo Snack. So, Roseblade Silk Ring Snack. Roseblade Silk Ring Snack. Roseblade Silk Ring Snack Shell. Roseblade Silk Ring Snack Shell. Shell. Roseblade Silk. It's the Divine one, okay. Well, as long as it works. That's a Slyo Snack. Give me that Slyo Snack. Roseblade. Ring. Prayer Ring is a fine thing to get. Wood. Slime! Okay. Roseblade Wood Slime. Roseblade Wood Slime. Blade. Yeah, spiked armor. Shuffle. Okay. That hurts. There are still 4 matches on the table, so we might be knocked out here for this. Rose, Slime, Claw, Wood. Yeah, because there's 4 unknowns. That's a distinct possibility. All right. Let's go again. This time it is Bandana. Bandana Wood. This is very low value. Bandana. Bandana Heart. Bandana Heart Betsy. Bandana Heart Betsy. Bandana Heart Betsy Sword. Bandana Heart Betsy and a sword. Claw. Betsy. Bandana Heart Betsy. Let's get that off the table. Sword, Claw, Claw. Okay. Get that moving. It's a Dragon Claw. Bandana Heart Betsy. Ooh. Claw Snack. Bandana Heart. That's tough. Claw Snack. Sword. Well, there's Sword. It's just a steel broadsword. 2,000 gil. Claw Sword. Bandana. Okay. There's 1 unknown here still, which makes it a little dangerous. There's also still the Shuffle. Heart. Barbatos Heart. Okay. Snack. Claw, then Snack. There's our Seed of Wisdom. And a 1-up. I think we're good now with that 1-up. Claw. And we have an unknown prize. This last one could be anything. Alright, shuffle the cards. Alright, what are you thinking? Flame Shield. Okay. We got a Slyo Snack and a Heart. Let me check how deep that heart is on the... I don't actually think that's a new heart. Let me double check that. I have my list of... open this one, please. Barbatos is half of... Barbatos plus Malevolantern goes into Vigilantern. Okay. Barbatos would normally be a goodie bag plus a Dingbat. And Dingbat is the other half of Prism Peacock. So... Anyway. Yeah, okay, it's a new heart. That's nice. Anyway, Slyo Snack. And also a Slyo Snack. Get that style going. Alright, this was a good detour. Let's head back in. We've got a dungeon to walk through. We've got a record with the Almighty to try to tie up. If we can take one more win off the Almighty, we'll get our third fragment, and we'll tie the series at 4-4. It truly will be close, though. Just fly. Doing a few battles along the way will be a fine thing to do. Getting another level or two on, wrong island. Hello. Hold on. Right here, please. Boom, multi-heal, spooky aura, frizzle, and kaboom out of that heart. That's a strong heart. Having multi-heal early in it, having kaboom in it, that's a nice set of abilities in a heart. Monster hearts, because their abilities are static, in the sense that they don't go away when you swap out of classes, like we've seen with some of our other bits. It's nice. But yeah, we could definitely use, like, another level in Druid, actually, might up our damage, if I'm... like, Druid's, like, higher levels give us some more offensive capabilities, so... Won't be a bad thing to take a fight or a few on the way in. I'm not gonna, you know, ask for them, but... I could just turn them all off if I wanted. But you get healed anyway. The problem with going and getting Druid 8 is that Druid 8 is like 200 fights away at this point, and I'm still not, like... It's fine, I could do that in fighting slimes, but we've already beaten God twice, so, like, I think it'll be fine. Like, if we've already got a couple wins... I do not have Druid 7, I have Druid 4. Pretty sure. Yeah, Druid 4. So, we would need... yeah. Another... not quite 200 fights to get up to that. As I said, not worth the, not worth the squeeze on that one, in my mind. Again, we're already having victories, so... I don't feel the need to go for it. Gotta keep things close, you know? If we pushed far enough that the Almighty didn't have a chance, it'd be, like, sad, wouldn't it? What's the grind for after beating God? God's got another dungeon behind him. There's also a second thing we'll be doing as well, but no amount of grinding will help with that because I won't be using normal our cast here. It'll be fine. Yeah, like I said, getting another level on Druid would actually get us a little bit more better offense than just using Kafrizzle, which is why we're not turning off fights on the way in. The amount of fights it'll take to get us up to the next one should be about what it takes to walk through here. Especially if I do a little bit of finding a Metal King Slime. I like finding the Metal King Slimes. Those are fun. Gotta tilt the scales a little bit in our favor. Yeah, if you get God too angry, God just opens up with double bolts and you're dead, right? Like, honest to goodness, when we did the first fight against the Almighty, the first fight we did against the Almighty, he never used bolts out of the blue, and it was a much, like, tenser fight. We lost that fight, but I think it was only by, like, 1 or 2 turns, and it was more because of a setup level thing where Slyo didn't have enough MP to be doing what he was doing. Not that we would have been winning. Deep Meditator, so that's a Druid 5 right there. And what we get in there is a Lightning Storm. So this is our change to our offense. Maribel will no longer need to be blasting with Kafrizzle. We'll have a little bit heavier offense to throw right back at our opponent. Let's go ahead and give it a go right here, shall we? So if I go into... I don't know if it... I actually think it sits in abilities. Yeah, Lightning Storm. Infernal Thunderbolts. I who stand in the light of heavens. Call to thee at the gates of hell. Open your passage. Indignation. Anyway. Bonk. So, we'll see how that compares. I know sometimes those abilities have a little bit of accuracy oddness happening to them. I don't know, like, what the Almighty has as far as, like, dodge chance on that compared to Kafrizzle, but we'll definitely give it a shot, because that's going from the jump up there from 180 to 250 is relatively significant. So looks like Frieza's minion also can resist that. Yeah. Yeah, so I was talking about it and thinking about it a little bit earlier, yesterday and today, because, again, there was another trailer for Reimagined on the Sony State of Play yesterday. And it got me thinking that, like, I think just the fact that we're on 7 right now means that Reimagined is going to be, like, waiting in the wings. There's a lot still going, and, like, I am planning on, like, going into Dragon, into the 1-2 HD 2D collection after we do Caravan Hearts, which is going to delay 8 significantly. I don't want to put 7 again between us and going to 8 after we've finally made our way through. A lot of enemies no-selling Indignation down here. But, like, I think what it means is that the plan as is that I'm going to be going Caravan Hearts, followed by Dragon Quest 1 HD, and then Builders 1, and then 2 HD, and then Builders 2. Really, that's more of an excuse to go ahead and play builders than it is to fit into HD collections. Like, because we've done 1 and 2, obviously. But I still want to have those in here, because builders didn't have a good slot otherwise. 8 already has a game planned for after it, 11 has a game planned for after it. Like, there's already, like, a couple spots that are, like, planned out, and there wasn't a good spot for builders 1 and 2 to get in. And with HD 1 and 2, that, like, kind of fixes that up, because there's a very obvious spot after discombobulate. Oh, these are all one group. Not one group. So... you know what? Oh yeah, we're fine pulling out that Blade of Ultimate Power. Bump. But yeah, so that's sort of the upcoming, what you can expect from, you know, Dragon Quest Wednesday for the far-flung future. I'm really excited for HD 2D 1 and 2. They have, like... I've kind of said it before, but the bits for 2 have me much more more intrigued on what could be than just the bits for 1. I already kind of feel like 1 is a game that... 1's a game that's elemental to me. 2's a game that had itches to scratch. Reducing time to slime. I did hear something to that effect. Which is kind of wild. As you saw, if you go back and look at the first stream of 7 here, for the PS1 version, our time to get to a slime was pretty long. You're on the first island for quite some time, but a lot of the puzzle aspects were removed to get us there quicker in this version. And, like, short of going in media res, like, it seems hard to pull that in further. Because you do, but there's also a lot of gains you get in an updated version with, like, I'm excited for voice-acted interactions. I'm excited for, like, new interaction. I'm excited for a lot out of 7. Okay, I think it's this way. I think we're getting there. One is okay, having one character is kind of limiting, 2's great. I assume you're talking about HD there. Yeah, because, like, one of the things that I think is very elemental about Dragon Quest, the original, is that it's a one-on-one thing, and the change in setup on HD 2D makes it nearly a different, like, cadence. Fighting 4 slimes at once changes what the abilities that our hero, the Descendant, has to have. Move. This too much of a fail jump. Are you talking about, like, original development? Like the PS1 version? It came out fairly late in the comparatively in the PS1. As we established when we talked about it earlier, it was early enough that Ichiban could have played it. It did not come out in 2001. It came out earlier than that. I think did it come out like it came out like nearly after the PS2 for its localization. Kind of wild stuff there. I believe you're being joked at, Betamax Hipster. Another Divine Boost. Okay. The joke there is I believe a dig at the characters in 16. I haven't played 16. But I assume that is a dig at the cast. But yeah, like 2 is the one I'm most interested in because there's just a lot of like, it looks like they're doing a lot of changes with it, and 2 has a lot of room for that. I would love to know the story on like 7 more so. So 7 has a lot of things going on. It represents part of the big shift in the era away from Nintendo, from both Square and Enix, as previous to 7, Dragon Quests 1 through 6 are all Nintendo titles. NES, SNES. We still have the Game Boy releases, obviously, that still matches up, but like the move, sticking with a cartridge instead of a disc system, along with some other pieces that bit a little worse for folks, means that development moved over to the PS1, or not like it started and then moved over, but like the company moved over to PlayStation development. It's where Final Fantasy VII comes from after 6. There is a wider gap between 6 and 7 for Dragon Quest than any of the others in a pretty large way. I think near 5 years. Up and left. I thought it was right there. So, like, there are pieces of... Yeah, I'm not sure on any of the, like, full behind-the-scenes stuff of, like, the, like, narrative focus or how the islands and stuff worked. I know what we have here on the 3DS is mostly the same game. Obviously, we have difference in the vocation system. The vocation system here is playing closer to 6's rather than the, like, one in the PS1 where you kind of, like, mix and match skills by leveling, like, Dancer plus, I gotta get hit by that well. Dancer plus Warrior to get Swords Dance is the one that I always think of. Though not the same as 6, because we have that piece of it where we lose our skills if we move out of the job, and the Monster Heart's changing that as well. Thinking about it, talking about 6, and talking about, like, 2, 6 is probably the other biggest candidate in my mind for, like, a larger overhaul. 6 to me, has a good amount of, like, pieces still left on the table as far as the main cast goes. There's a couple of the main cast members that still have just sort of like hanging story beats, or even parts where like Ashlyn leaves your party before the main showdown at the end of the first act sort of bit, and there's like pieces implied there. There's the bit with the flute that kind of is its own self-terminating bit. There's a lot of room to add on to that cast, and the back half of the game is a lot more open and a little more loose due to that. Absolutely, it's a great time to be playing Dragon Quest games. Amos, yeah. It'll be really exciting. Just like 7 getting a remastered, you know, reimagined in such a huge way that that it is getting. There's a couple that would also, 9's another one as well, but that's more that 9 is the only one without a real re-release. Without, I say real, it's just a DS title. Alright, anyway, all that said, let's throw down. Let's see what we can do. The Almighty. This is round 8. So we get to open up with Swords Dance, we get to open up with Harvest Moon, we're specifically going to open up with Summon, and we obviously are going to be Blade of Ultimate Power. Swords Dance, God, it's... Swords Dance and Giga Slash are so close in damage. Swords Dance is doing about 400 damage, Giga Slash is doing about 400. I think it might be better to Giga Slash because it can't miss. Scoreboard is currently 3 wins us, 4 wins God. If we win this, we tie the series and get the last fragment. So. Alright. How you feel about Lightning Storm? 20 MP. That's going to be pricey, but damaging. Advanced Dance, no match on... That's fine. Annoying, but fine. Okay. Rough. I'm a rough... I guess I'm not gonna have rough defend. Alright, well. Ooh, boy, rough is gonna be real low. Come on! You jerk. 280. Okay, that's good offense. Giga Slash, we're gonna move back into Kazing and get that Blade of Ultimate Power. Alright, rough back up. Frigid Ice. And Maribel is fine. It's fine. It's fine. Thank you for the multi-heal. Appreciate that. I'm still gonna Omni-heal. But it... You know what? No. No, we can get away with being a little bit more spicy here. We can defend with Maribel. And the Gleam is Bazool. I'm not gonna bother. Bazool is there to take the, the hit. Let's get the offense out. Okay, that's a knockdown on Mervin. Being half as good as Mervin. It is area, which, you know, in this fight doesn't matter, but, you know, that is a thing about it, is it is... You know what? I guess we should use, we should use Tingle. Because that'll get Bazool, too. Okay. Alright, full offense turn? Let's fit a multi-heal in here. That's why! Oh boy, I don't know if Maribel's living through that. Okay. We've got to take the turn off, so we can go Omni, Harvest Moon, and you have to go back to Gazinging. I don't like that. Okay, everybody's gonna be at full health, though, as we get past this turn, so that's fine. Thanks, I appreciate the attempt, Bazool. Giga Slash. Our offense has gotten better every fight we've done, which is a good thing. Ups the clock. Bonk on Slyo is pretty good for us because Slyo heals that off naturally. With the 50 HP from Hero, meaning I can basically just go for offense here again. Everybody's just going for the beatdown. Yeah, we're at 397, which is still the highest health, so I can still go for the offense. Lightning Storm. Yeah, the less turns we're in here, the less we get blown out by a double turn that, like, knocks us out. Like this. Oh! Did you see Bazool there? They look really silly and cute. That's great. Tiny little buddy. Alright, full heal Slyo. That's great. You can only see their head and little horns from the back, but when you see them going in, they're a little tiny little buddy. Little guy. Alright. Bolts from the blue. Rough is not affected. Returning fire. If you've got a sub, you can just do it. Okay, Omni heal first, which is necessary. There's the Gleam. Bazool's the knockdown. Okay, that's great. Rough takes a turn off, and Rough alone takes a turn off. I love getting to turn God's power against him with the bolts from the blue. Nice. Nice MP down there. And that's good. Woo! All right. 4-4. We evened up the odds with God. 15 turns. Perfect. Alright. Yeah, see you next time. That's where we're gonna leave it. So you know what? I think it's totally fine if we take an even split against God. If the Almighty here and us can throw exactly the same hands. I've been doing it throughout this entire stream, other weeks included, where I interchangeably call the Almighty God, capital G, on the PS1. the Almighty's name is just capital G God. This is God High. So that's why I kind of swap between the two. But, like, this is also not God in, like, a... It's not God in the Christian God sense, even though, like, it... Because we have God also split among the spirits of the land sense, which is another piece of the knowable divinity of God here. It's why we were able to take on the Demon Lord in the first place. Anyway, well... Yeah, like, clearly, like, there are things taken off of that, but... The Almighty is the Almighty. He does the underpants dance. Floats around as kind of a little floaty guy who just wants to fight sometimes. Anyway, so, that said, nobody here wants to fight anymore, by the way. No, thank you. Sorry, we heard you match series with God. Like, I'll pass, thanks. No, thank you. So, where does that leave us? We got our fights? What we're gonna do, we're gonna quick save, and we're gonna go ahead and put in those other mysterious fragments. We have a whole other dungeon to start today. Alright, I'm also gonna quick step away. I'll be right back in a moment. Alright, let us continue. So. Yeah, got the last Jiggy. Let's go ahead and put it in. We have been sitting on these mysterious fragments for... like, 3/4 of the game. We've been getting these. And finally, with that last, series with God, we can go even deeper. Do you remember this pedestal? This pedestal's really funny looking, by the way. This is the Dragon Quest VII pedestal. So again, this is not a... When I played 7 on PS1, I didn't do the post-game, so... Alright, time to start Dragon Quest VII again. Just, here we are, we can start it over. Right back to the beginning. Gonna wake up in the morning, our mom's gonna wake us up, and our dad's gonna be going fishing. Bearbell's gonna try to sneak on the boat. Kiefer's gonna wanna try to sneak into the Forbidden Ruins. So we got the space oasis, and a door. Where are we? Welcome to Cave to Yet Another World. So we already did one Fungeon made up of of, like, you know, Chaos Realm stuff. We're doing another, but you can see here, we've got new sets of enemies. That's the big thing here. Godzilla and Pandora's Box. Chomp. Pandora's Box immune. I hit that with the Blade of Ultimate Power and it lived. Anyway, that was 3 diamonds shattering. But we found a friend. The poor thing just wants to be looked after. Instant friendship, obviously. Well, I'm still curating the Mimic Museum, but of course, I'm happy that Mimics are extremely excited to be recruited in. Do you think God will be down here too? I mean, I guess he could be. I don't know. So we got a downstairs and we got in the building. God 2, sequel to God. There's a treasure in here. Night, night. Good night. Is the tiny lizard here? I hope so. We gotta fight 2 Nightmare Knights. The Almighty A and B. That's why we had Almighty A, obviously. Anyway, you can see fights in here are actually a more threatening thing. We're getting higher experience values and enemies with, you know, the ability to just kill us flat. So, keeping an eye very closely on our fights and our combat. Hello? It's Pandora's Box. Sword Dance, Harvest Moon, Blade. The lizard being real, come on. Alright, is this enough? Okay, that's enough to not get thwacked. No more treasures. Alright. Anyway, on we go. Let's go ahead and find our way down and find our way to Almighty B. An Estark. Erstats. Estark. I said, yeah. This is one of our top-end, monster classes we could have gone to, actually. This is one of the different paths we could have taken. And if you remember, the last one of these we saw was like a Zaro. When we fought this as a boss. Yeah, the imitation Estark. But yeah, that is a monster class we could have for Ruff. Or anybody, I suppose, but Ruff's the one here. Alright, let's check. No treasure on this floor. I spent a lot of time thinking ahead. Oh my god, was that just a mimic? Like, appearing behind us? Like we're playing some Quest 64? Hell yeah. Quest 64 mimics are great because they don't hide as a... Oh my god! They don't hide in the same way as a... in like a treasure chest. They just like attack you on the road, and I think it's much funnier because like there's not like a question. Green magic, black. Ruff dies. I never did go back and buy a bunch of diamonds, did I? Oh well. We're doing fine. Alright, down we go. No treasure on this floor. Dual big Draculord instead of the Dracularge. That's right, the Draculord is here. Ooh, the Hexer! Alright. I know heart drops are a thing you can get, but I don't know if it's like we have to go get like a tablet with them to get the heart drops for certain, or if we can just get them. Like, I think we'd have to, like, go make its tablet to get the heart, rather than just be able to get it from the enemy. Hello! Hello, hello, hello! The Platinum King! The Platinum King is here! 1 in 1024. Okay, that's good to know. No! Fine. I mean... Goodbye, Godzilla. Lightning Storm might be a better choice there, but who can say? All the S-Dark rotation names mixing S-Dark into the air, of course. The Less-Dark, the Zest-Dark, the Yes-Dark, the Impress-Dark, the Bless-Dark, the Mess-Dark, and, of course, the Best-Dark. Baron von Bellicose. Hi, dude. This is Cardinal Sin. Yeah, I'll pull out a blade for you. Goodbye. Okay. Let's pick a hole. A goddess ring. Ah, that's the MP heal. It wouldn't hurt to have on Mervin. Okay, can't fall down a hole. There are 5 treasures on this level? Hold on. The Ruinous Shield. Watch out. It's worse than your equipped shield. Ah! Of course. Friend has appeared. Big Chompin'! Yo! We be big chompin'. Okay. What if I'm like right here? What if you can't get there? What if you can't get to me? Goodbye. Nice try. Oh boy. Oh, Mimic! Oh, 2 of them. Uh-oh. 2 of them. Hmm. 2 of them. Oh, well. There goes Thwack. Big chomping. Big sleeping. All right. Big chomp, middle chomping, little chomping. Little chomping. I love little chomp. Little chomp. Just tiny chomping, you know? Alright, that's 1 down. Slyo dies. Okay. Oh, Ruff's leading the party now. No thanks, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. Okay. Come on. There's nothing here, damn it. Oh, wait. There's not nothing here. All right, here we go. Come on. Oh! Big puff. Okay. Bring the blade of ultimate power to bear. It's actually a gem. It has like, you're seeing a diamond from the top. Is how those are. Anyway. They're worth a little bit of experience. Like, some. Just tiny bit. Like, just... You know, you already beat the Almighty 3 times to get here. Like, you had to have beaten God 3 times to get into this dungeon. I think we can give you... Ooh, Elemental Master. That gets us Hellfire. Hell yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Heck yes. So that brings us up to 101. Of course, like, we still need, you know, a good chunk more, but... They're still true treasures yet. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna cast Sneak. Oh, no! Okay. That's fine. This is okay. This is way more acceptable. That's right. In the final bonus dungeon. Some meat. Okay, check this floor. 1 treasure on this floor, so we do have to explore it. There's a down. Let's ignore the down. Oh boy. Okay. You know? So let's go ahead and use Hellfire. Unleash Hell's fury on the enemies, scorching them with unholy fire. I don't think against this enemy it'll be great. But it is powerful and it's a move we've seen. Druid gets a lot of those moves that we've seen that have been just ass kickings. It's really nice. Alright. A Duplihat. Let's take the Duplihat. Spells cast by the wearer double up. So, we know who this goes on. It doesn't give us, like, multi-heal double-ups, which would be a neat thing to have, but we had this as a huge piece of power in one of our previous titles. And the Hermes hat actually it's actually stronger than the Hermes hat anyway, so kind of wild, to be honest. Near the end of the post-game. And we find the Duplicat. duplicator. It does mean I want to be using spells. You know, going for Frizzle. Anyway. But yeah, the deadly doubler indeed, TK Cat. Ooh, that's Mustafa big. No treasure on this one. Weird. The Octophant and the Murderer. Uh-oh. Kaboom. Kaboom. It's sweet to have... The Murderer. Yeah. I love the little... just swim in the air there. Cute. Not treating the Octophants as big as the other enemies because they aren't. Up. What's this one for? All right. Well, looks like we've reached back. I'm assuming I'm taking 3 steps and having something occur. Not even. Welcome to space. So these are the elemental spirits we collected and revived in order to have a talk with the Demon King. This fight would make so much more sense if it was first. Yeah, especially with them going, we won't allow you to talk to stop the Almighty here. All right, you ready for all of them? So, we got a fight. Let's figure out. So we fought the fire spirit before, and that's it. What sort of defense do I want to set up? Like, it's possible that they don't have the ability of Disrupting Wave, which means that I should absolutely set up, like, Magic Barrier, Insulate. I'm gonna just have you cast Lightning Storm and see what happens there. And, like... You know what? I should probably take out the Water Spirit first, then the Earth Spirit. Like, Undini here might have... Okay. That does flat 250 to everybody, huh? Alright. Okay, fine. I'm sorry, was that 10 to 15 damage? Was that what you pulled out of your hat? Oh, you, Is that... Big Bang! Okay, Fire Spirit's immune to that. Okay, you do have moves. Azul also has moves, though. I like the animations as well. They are a lot of fun here. Tail Slap. Let's hit Fire Spirit with this. Vacuum Vortex. Thin Air is powerful. Ball Flame. Jolly Ranger. For... And boulders, that's like 100 damage. I feel like I'm just gonna have Slyo make sure we don't fall over to weird stuff here. And let's do Inferno, Lightning Storm, Blade of Ultimate Power. Wind Spirit outspeeds all of us, so I need to be careful about that. Yeah, we talked about how Sir Mervyn was the most powerful party member dealing damage to God. Slyo with Big Bang and Maribel with Indignation are way different here. They have like 3,000-ish HP. The strength on par with the Almighty, just not on one. Yeah, combined, that about matches God. Split up. So yeah, we saw when we had the fight with the Demon King and the Almighty, that one of the last actions that the Almighty took, besides sealing away Sir Mervyn, was throwing the four spirits to the world. Damn, you can learn, you can, you know, grow as people. You can both, in a lot of ways, that's a piece of this. We've got the vocations, but also, you know, like, mainly. Alright. This fight, thematically and mechanically, would have been better before... Yeah, like... If we've already beaten God, we have that fight in the bag. Alright, but what do we have behind this? What's the prize behind this? We're at the Divine Shrine. Hey, what up? Oh look, we found the Almighty's house. He's just chilling with a bunch of swords on the wall? God, like, is God the Seven of Swords or whatever? Like... Yo... So, yeah, God's humble abode. He's thinking about moving. If only there were a great place where we could invite the Almighty. All right, I'm supposed to be all-knowing after all. Ho ho! As I talked about and showed, I think it was last stream, I think it was Rivals, or no, not Rivals, like Walk or something like that has God with, in like a Santa outfit. All right, see you later, everybody. Just God leaving on the... Anyway. This is still a tablet, so we need to leave the old-fashioned way. But yeah, as was said, Massaw mentioned in chat, but also like just sort of like with that, if we've beaten the Almighty 3 times in under 20 turns, the Four Spirits isn't really a match for your power. Now for retool and everything and reimagined, perhaps even the post-game. Really just swapping the two. I don't know. Let's go talk to... Actually, before we talk to God... How much money am I sitting on? Enough for one more gamble, huh? Maybe if you're like excessively tuned to single target attacks. Maybe? Even then, it's like single target attacks tuned like that. If you're like a bunch of Blade of Ultimate Powers, like you're gonna remove one of them immediately, right? The biggest thing about that fight, like just from going through that there, is that like a lot of the resistances we have apply a lot heavier there. When we're fighting against the Almighty, against Hellfire, against Ball of Ice, those are like 200 plus damage moves that our resistances bring down to like 180, 150. Whereas because there's 4 opponents, they can't all have that move or else we just die on the spot. So they have the like 100 damage version of them. But our resistances that we have apply much heavier against that because they're not, because like remove, remove 60 damage off the top of 100, you're at 40, versus remove 60 damage off the top of, 220 is still 160. Excuse me, buddy. Yo! Yo, hey God, are you hanging out in the church? Yeah, it's not, yeah, it's minus 60 damage, not minus, like, 40% or whatever. That's how these things work in this game. Aw, that's great for these two. But yo, hey, what up? You got a tablet? Hey, it's me, Goku. I'm giving Haven the heavenly seal of approval. Look, nobody... I'm just chilling. I was hoping that we would be able to get a tablet from the Almighty. Wait. Wait a minute. So we can throw down again with the Almighty to get some of those other prizes. But yeah, I want to get a dungeon where we get Almighty A and Almighty B. Alright, hey. I would like to find Traveler's Tablets. I am going to choose... Oh no, he's not, oh, heck. That's not gonna, like, find... God isn't here. Okay. It's fine. We're just gonna take him to fight again, see if... I don't want God's Class Heart. I basically just want to go in a dungeon where we get Almighty A, Almighty B. That's it. Because I think that'd be really funny. I have to say, these stamps we have are very fitting. Just have the whole slime stamps over here. Alright. I don't have it set up for doing the DLC tablet bits. That'll be for next week. I don't. So we'll finish off this week. With a little bit more of run around the town here, and I guess we'll run back the final series against the Almighty. See who wins that tiebreaker. It's 4-4 right now. See who wins that best of 9. It's, you know. I'm the one who has a statue in this town. I've got the home field advantage. Gulio. Alright. Yeah, let's see how it rolls. Actually, let's go do our Does God might take my cash. Let's go do a couple more casinos. Alright. Hat. Saw. Hat saw ruin. Hat saw ruin spiral. Hat saw the ruinous spiral. Hat saw the ruinous spiral iron. Hat saw ruin spiral iron. Hat saw ruin spiral iron stockings. Hat saw ruin spiral iron stockings. Hat saw. Hat saw. Hat. Hat. Viking. Saw. Ruin spiral. Okay. Turban. +1, okay. Stockings. Stockings were down here. Fishnet stockings. Dagger. Iron. Alright. That +1. Hat saw ruin spiral. Spiral. The Dream Blade. Okay. Dagger? Alright. Ooh. We gotta get really lucky now. We gotta get really lucky. Alright. Turban. Viking. Alright. Round 2. Are you ready? We start with Hero Ring. The ring. Iron. Ring iron cape. Ring iron cape spiral. Ring iron cape spiral stockings. Ring Iron, Cape Spiral, Stockings. Ring Iron, Cape Spiral, Stockings. Don't touch. Ring Iron, Cape Spiral, Stockings. Ring Iron, Cape Spiral, Stockings. Ring Iron, Cape Spiral, Stockings. Ruin. Snack. Ruin. Snack. King Iron, Cape Spiral. Ruin. Okay. King. Okay. Sorry, my brain just lost it all. Okay, hold on. Ring Iron Cape Spiral. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. Da 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 da. I did. Ring. Agility ring. Okay, had the crest on it. Snack. Stockings. Oh, this one was snack. That one's stockings. That's not good for us. There's a reason I can only do 1 or 2 of these in a row before I fall over. Anyway. Let's go for our last fight in the best of 9. It's the Almighty! All right. Almighty A. Oh, this is just Almighty. There's no way. The true Almighty has arrived. Ooh, this is great timing. Oh, this is bad timing. Because Maribel's doubled over with laughter. Laughter. Okay. Yeah, we're fine. We're good. Everything's fine. Hey, Diego. Slyo, you got us? You got it covered? All right, good. I'm sure everything's okay. Joink. Bolt from the blue. Oh, God. All right. That's enough to take Maribel down. Nice. And bonk. Ooh, all right, well. Diego's trying. All right, let's get some lightning storms in here, shall we? God's being pretty offensive today with the big hits. All right, take a turn off. Thank you very much. We can go ahead and get in a, back to Giga Slashes now. No, I mean, I could Magic Burst, but, like, Ruff actually does use, like, multi-heal and stuff. Oh, yeah, actually, you're right. Fireball! Let's check the numbers. Fireball 188 plus Fireball 188. And, oh, alright, Bolt from the Blue back at us. So that was Fireball 376? Yeah, that's better. Every time we've fought, we've gotten more and more power. The underpants dance. We get more and more power every time we walk in the house. Underpants dance. As long as Slyo doesn't get skipped. Okay, that's fine. Maribel's almost on the same level of damage as Slyo is. Not quite, but getting there. Slime Day, Slime Night. Nobody laughed at the Slime Night joke. That's sad. Yeah, Diego! Finally got in there. Alright. You know what? Screw it. What's the number? 153? What's the damage look like on that? Okay, triple. That is, burn all your MP into damage, triple whatever MP you spent. Magic Burst is an ability over here. Windsickle, I think, will still be fine. Maribel gets a cool version when she uses it? Okay. Diego going in. I'll have to try Weird Whacker, that might be better. Who's the last person you want to meddle with? The Metal King. Oh, I really wanted Diego to take it that turn, I'll be honest. We'll try Weird Whacker. The power of slimes finishing this out would be good. It's wind, and... Oh, you know about the Ambler. Oh, that costs MP. Are you a flying foe? Does God count as flying? Nah, it does not seem like it. Okay. All right. And there we have it. The best of 9 series. We brought it back. And we have improved in power every time we've come back. This time we had better offense with the duplicate. All right. These are our last possible options. I think we have to get the ultimate Slyo snack, right? Like, the Heart of a Hero is great, and we already have a Skimpy Nighty. Like, whatever, we don't have to ask God for that. Let's go ahead and take. If we got the Heart of a Hero, we could give Ruff the Heart of a Hero. At the end of the day, Ruff is truly a hero. We can come back for the Slyo snacks. Give me that heart. So the hero heart is the only heart that is a bypass on holding it. One can almost imagine how it might feel to be a hero. So yeah, this lets us bypass a non-monster job. So we could turn Good. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. But we all know who the true hero is, of course. That's right. It's Kiefer. So yeah, that's kind of what we've got today for post-game. I have other post-game stuff, but it's a little bit more involved to set up. So I'm gonna do that all in a go for next week. And we'll see. I don't know exactly how long it is. It might be longer than one stream, but like we're gonna check that out on another time. So I think we're set here. There's obviously a ton more we could do. Like if you had this on your 3DS and you just wanted to be able to endlessly find friends and make new dungeons. The Monster Meadows basically lets you do that in ad infinitum. You can, go here and have monsters find little tablets, and have the tablets go and find you new monsters to find new tablets, and just all sorts of building out like that. Which also was, Street Pass as well, but yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. I think we're going to be ending a little earlier than usual, which is fine. It's still longer than a normal stream. I tend to do 2 hours on these, and this went a little over. But we had a few fights with the Almighty. So yeah, that's going to be it for today for Dragon Quest Wednesday. We're not quite done with the game, obviously. I've mentioned there's some stuff we're going to be checking out starting next week. I don't know if it's 1 week long, but we'll see what it ends up being. It's the stuff I've completely... Dragon Quest is not usually 2 hours. Stream times in general, I like to have 2 hours. Slay the Spire and Magic, I like to have 2 hour long streams for. These tend to be 3 minimum. Same with the Yakuza 7. But that makes this more in line with some of the Magic stuff. We fit 2 drafts in on Monday. But yeah, so that'll be it for today. Thank you all for joining. Hope you had a great time with our final showdown, getting the series up in our favor, 5-4 against God. This stuff I had a little bit of knowledge about because, as I said, I didn't do it on the PS1, but you've read game facts, you've read strategy guides about it in the past. You know what's behind tablet number 2. I don't really know what's on the DLC stuff. That's the 3DS exclusive stuff. So that'll be much more of a blind stuff, but I do have, hopefully, the setup for it. Anyway, thank you all for joining. If you want to catch more, follow, subscribe. You get the cool skulls, cool slimes, mimics. We caught a fun mimic today. That was great. It ate 3 diamonds off us and then came home. Tomorrow will be Yakuza 7's bonus dungeon, the post-game Millennium Tower. And Friday will be Slay the Spire, which will be... it'll be a couple weeks of break off Slay the Spire after next week because of a new Magic Set release, and that'll be our Friday for a little while, as tends to be. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Thank you, Strange MD, for the sub. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Have a good night, everybody.